Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the Roast and Toast podcast. We are your hosts, David, Jennie, and Philip.
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back. How are we all doing this week?
Jennie. Hello.
Hello.
So last week I was sick. This week I'm still sick. But I fell into the trap, guys.
We record 2 episodes at once.
Yes, yes, that is the dirty secret. Yeah. The dirty industry secret.
Surprise.
Last week and this week are the same day.
Are the same day for us.
Spoilers.
Not for you listening
For
right
us,
now,
yes.
but for us, it is the same. I fell into the trap. Never fall into this trap, but I did the thing. I stepped on the banana peel. That is, at work, I talked to the very kind but very misguided older woman at work who just made the innocuous comment and laid the grease trap that I just completely slipped on. All of us, I was asking somebody, a fellow peer worker, coworker. I said, "Oh, did you enjoy the Barbie movie?" And of course, out of the corner of the goddamn room comes, I just gave that movie. I tried my best to give it a shot, and it didn't work for me. And I gave it a real shot. I tried. I gave it 3 to 4 minutes,
man.
and that was it. And I was like, and
3 to 4 minutes.
I know. That was my thing. I jumped on that too. I couldn't resist. I said, just 3 to 4 minutes? That was it. Yeah, okay. I think I can hold my breath for longer than 3 to 4 minutes, but that was a real shot. Yeah. I didn't give it as much pettiness.
Disliking any movie is valid. Your reasons may not feel justified to everybody, but if you didn't even give it more than half the movie.
Yeah, I don't even understand how you cannot even go 3 to 4 minutes, which I both think is an
you haven't even gotten to the second act at that point.
I think was a clear boasting. It minimized what she actually gave, but also I don't think it was by that much. I think she gave it probably 10 minutes, whatever the freak. You didn't even get beyond the opening scene at 3 to 4 minutes. So whatever.
For those, I'm sure most who don't know, the average, I might be getting the numbers slightly wrong, but the average time for a first act of a film is 17 minutes or something like that. So after 17 minutes of the film, there's the inciting incident, and that's when the second act begins. And so even 10 minutes, the likelihood is for 98% of movies, you haven't even gotten to the second act. You haven't even seen the inciting incident. So that is absurd. I didn't love Barbie. I really didn't love it. I didn't think it was that great. But my goodness, I gave it a shot. I watched the whole movie.
Yeah, if you give it up to the point of weird Barbie and the meeting of Kristen Wiig and you don't like it by then, fine. But 3 to 4 minutes, absurd.
It was
Kristen Wiig. Kate
McKinnon.
Sorry.
Kate McKinnon, a former winner or a winner of Roast and Toast Person of the Year.
How dare I? How dare I get 2 SNL hosts
the audacity
with similar Kate names? How dare I? How dare I? Jennie, how have you been? How has your week that has not been a week since we last recorded been?
Well, by the time this episode gets released, it'll be a few weeks since this event that I'm attending today. But I will be attending a pre-screening party for Godzilla vs. Kong, which is just my brother's very, very belated birthday party. But I will share more information with you gentlemen later. He has crafted a whole event with this screening. It's actually quite admirable. He rented a whole movie theater to himself, and he created like a 9 to 10 minute video to play before the movie. That's a photo, what's the word for it? A photo video
collage.
Presentation thing. A collage, yes. It's a day celebrating RJ, my brother, while also a screening of Godzilla vs. Kong. I sadly can't attend the movie, but I have seen the video. It's amazing, and I can't wait to eat some pizza.
I'm going to say, for the record, if I were casting Barbie 10 years earlier, I would cast Kristen Wiig as Weird Barbie.
That's fair.
Seems like an actual no-brainer. This past week, it's just been, I've been on vacation. It's been amazing. And I was in Mexico for 10 days. That was awesome. I love the food, love the scenery, love the tequila.
The tacos!
Yeah, love tacos. I could eat them every day, especially Mexican ones. And then I was in Kentucky for a little bit. That was also lovely. Yeah, and now I'm back, and I've got work to go to.
Love that. And speaking of work, let's get to work on this game that we have with the one, the only Gary Boucher.
Well, it's time for a game. I believe Philip has a game planned for us. But before we get to the game, we are going to ask a few questions of our wonderful guest, Gary. Welcome back, Gary. You were with us last week, and you have rejoined us for a game. We're very glad you have given your time up for Roast and Toast. We always love having you on. Gary, we were talking a lot about movies. Which of the movies that are coming out in 2024 would you have most liked to direct yourself?
Ooh, that's a great question. By the way, before I answer, Jenny, I hope that your impending, I can only assume to be arm amputation, I hope that goes well.
My arm amputation?
And per last week's You Will Be Missed mini segment.
Oh, yeah.
The proper blood
Well, I
flow.
hope not. I need this arm to create puppet magic, but yes.
You guys led into that segment so seriously, and I didn't know what was happening. Jenny was like, my arm circulation is failing me. And I was like, oh my God, she's losing an arm. Oh my God.
No, I'm not losing an arm, but my family in general, we all have terrible circulation, so I'm starting to feel the effect of that lineage, and it's a tragedy, a modern day tragedy. Thank you.
Well, per David's question, Gary, you have a list of 25 movies that we were selecting from last week, as well as a few that didn't make the list for time purposes, for date purposes. The only one I can think of that we had available to us, that we did not have available to us on the list that you might consider was either Dune Part 2 or Joker, the sequel. I can't remember what the... I got for you. So which film would you wish that you directed, per David's question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Honorable mention, I'd say Roadhouse, but I think that, the testosterone would just be too much. But honestly...
And all the Irish.
All the Irish testosterone, Eddie. I'm going to say Furiosa. I think that if you read about the production of the first, or, Mad Max Fury Road, it's like...
Yeah. It's a
insane.
show.
Yeah, it's show, and just like the fact that essentially everything in the movie was practical, and George Miller's he's like 80 something now.
Yeah,
I would have such a sense of accomplishment after directing a movie of that magnitude with all the practical effects. It seems really fun. And yeah, so Mad Max or Furiosa. Yeah,
I'm not sure if this has been asked of you previously, but I wanted to give it a shot. What's a movie that you could sit and watch every single day and never get tired of?
Growing up, it was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. I legit spent the summer between 6th and 7th grade, like not even kidding, watching it like at least once a day in my room on like my little portable DVD player.
Oh God, those portable DVD players.
So probably something like action comedy, because I don't think, putting in 4 hours for Lord of the Rings extended every day, that's a lot. That's a big chunk of your day. That's some sleep that you're losing right there. So let me go with an Edgar Wright movie. Give me Hot
Baby
Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, I love Hot
Good
Fuzz.
choice.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Heck yeah.
Gary, my question for you, which is more embarrassing, dyeing your hair or hair plugs? I think that there's a lot of complexity that can be had for this question. And I don't think that there should be embarrassment associated with either one necessarily. But to you, who is very follically well endowed, where would you say lies more embarrassment?
So I don't know if you're calling out the fact that I'm rocking the blonde right now or what, but
no.
I was like, oh geez, he doesn't like it. Honestly, and look, I've never been bald, so I don't know what that struggle is like. But I think
there's still time, Gary. There's still time to test it out.
That's why I'm keeping this for as long as I can, because it's temporary. But like, sorry if I get canceled for this, but for men who are like missing on the top and just have the sides, just go full bald. Just embrace it. It's like one of my really good friends, he's rocking the full bald and he looks great. I think that we're far enough removed from World War II that they're not going to think you're a Nazi anymore. It's a very masculine look. So I would say getting hair plugs, because that's just like being in denial of who you are.
Yeah, I think once you reach the Ed Harris hairstyle, Ed Harris is like the one person who can softly rock that, like
Love Lies
softly.
Bleeding.
Yeah, Love
Just
Lies Lean, but like
yeah.
having like the extended, even like just that, and then like the bold Friar Tuck look. I think that
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
absolute worst.
sooner go full bald. I've always
Yeah.
said that. But I also recently watched Jim Jeffries' most recent comedy special, and he does a little bit about the double standard of like how women who have a full head of hair who then wear a wig, it's like empowering, and yeah, you wear whatever hair you want, but when a man wears a toupee or a wig, it's like what a loser, you know. And that's horrible. If a man should be allowed to wear a wig if he wants to. So down with the
That's true. I agree.
that stereotype.
Speaking of stereotypes, there's nothing to do with stereotypes in this game. So, the game that I have provided for us, there was a version of this game called Mock or Block or Cockbuster, but does not exist as there are not enough chicken films in the world that do not have a foul pun associated with the title, a la Chicken Run. So, in lieu of that, we will do a game called Mock or Blockbuster. Now, all three of you have dabbled to various degrees of writing in the name of your art, so I have married that with our blockbuster theme of these past 2 weeks by taking the titles of blockbusters of yesteryear and having you guys figure out which of the options available is the correct 3-sentence synopsis of the film given. The two other options available will be a synopsis provided by a selected one of the three of you who will text me your completely made up synopsis of the film you've more than likely never heard of before. And with the other synopsis will be for a completely different film that came out that exact same year. If you guess the correct synopsis, you get a point. And if you are creating a synopsis and yours is picked, you get a single point. So there are 2 ways to score on this, and it gives you an incentive to write a synopsis worthy of being picked. All right, so let us go first to David. David, you are going to be the first one. I do have a tiebreaker should we need it. David, you'll be the first one to send me a 3-sentence synopsis for this film that if you have watched for any of these, if any of you have seen this, give me a synopsis based just purely on the title, then absent of what it actually is about. So here we go. David, your movie is 2003's blockbuster Tears of the Sun. Tears of the Sun. What is this film? Text me a 3-sentence synopsis of that film. The synopsis is in. So here we go. Jennie, you'll go first. Gary, you'll go second. Here are the 3 options, A, B, and C. The first one, a film about Sakura, a young Japanese widow who boards a boat to live with her sister in California. She must say goodbye to everything she has ever known. While at first she struggles to fit into her new world, she soon meets Kai. The two are shocked to learn that they were childhood sweethearts, torn apart for nearly 2 decades by the ocean between them. That's option A. B. A group of Navy SEALs sent on a mission to rescue a doctor in war-torn Africa. They face moral dilemmas and difficult choices as they try to save lives and complete their mission. It's a tense and action-packed military thriller with themes of duty, sacrifice, and redemption. And option C, a fading movie star and a young woman who strike up an unlikely friendship in Tokyo. They bond over their shared sense of alienation and loneliness and find solace in each other's company. It's a quiet and contemplative drama with subtle performances and a poignant exploration of human connection. So I have A, B, and C over 2003's Tears of the Sun. Jennie, which option is the correct synopsis of that film?
Oh my gosh. You should have had these written down and sent them to me so I could read them, because you've read them to me,
And
but I
as soon as they were gone,
any information.
All right, so one's about 2 childhood sweethearts who were torn apart for nearly 2 decades by the ocean between them. One's about a group of Navy SEALs trying to save lives and facing moral dilemmas. And then the last one is a fading movie star and a young woman strike up a bond and friendship in Tokyo. A, B, or C? Tears of the Sun.
Interesting. They're all pretty different from each other, so it's hard to pick which one could be the right one. I have a gut feeling that the Long Lost Lovers could be the correct choice here. So I'm going to pick, without remembering any actual detail, I think the first synopsis
The first one
seems
about the
like the
childhood
closest.
sweethearts.
Yes, that seems
Okay.
like the closest choice. So I will pick option A. Synopsis A.
Synopsis A. Gary, are you going and trailing Jenny with option A?
I am not. I don't know the plot of this movie, but I know one of the people who is in it. And because of that, I am going. Which one is the Navy SEAL one? B?
That would be B.
I'm going B. I'm going B for Boucher.
Boucher. All right. Reveal, what movie star is it that you know is in there, Gary?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, indeed. That certainly would have given something away. Absolutely. Gary, you are correct, which means, Jenny, you were incorrect. Gary gets a point. However, Hoffman, you get 2 points. Or sorry, excuse me. Let's reverse that. Gary, you get 2 points. Gary, you get a point for having a guess towards your synopsis. So, Gary, you now lead the pack at 2. David, you have a point. Congratulations. And Jenny, you're playing. You're there.
I'm
Next
here.
one. You're here. You're here. Here for a good time. Next one. Gary, you have the task to write a fake synopsis for 1998's blockbuster film Deep Impact. Deep Impact. And while you're writing that, I should note that the other film that came out in 2003 and the synopsis that I chose was for a fading movie star and a young woman who strike up an unlikely friendship in Tokyo. That is, of course, Lost in Translation, featuring the one, the only Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson.
And like a 17-year-old ScarJo.
Yes,
Crazy. She's been around for a while.
All right, here we go. 1998's Deep Impact is a film about a comet heading towards Earth, and people have to find a way to stop it before it destroys everything. A young reporter discovers the truth about the impending disaster and tries to warn the world. It's a thrilling sci-fi movie with lots of action and suspense. That's option A. Option B. When the sun starts to dim, Earth sends a group of scientists to the sun in a last-ditch effort to try and save humanity by dropping a massive nuclear weapon into the sun. Along the way, as the crew starts to drop one by one, the mission is in jeopardy and the crew starts to question their place in the vast universe. And option C, a group of soldiers who go on a mission to find a paratrooper whose brother have been killed in action. They face intense battles and moral dilemmas as they search for him behind enemy lines. It's a powerful war movie with realistic depictions of combat and themes of sacrifice and brotherhood. So, we'll go to you first, Hoffman. Which A, B, or C is the correct synopsis for 1998's Deep Impact? So one's about a comet heading towards Earth. One's about trying to restart the sun with a nuclear warhead.
I think it's the comet heading towards Earth, and yet the other two movies feel like movies that I've seen. So I think I'm actually gonna go with I'm gonna go with the sun. Option B.
The sun. Okay.
Because option C sounds like another movie that I might have seen.
So he's going with option B, restarting the sun. Jenny, it is to you. A comet heading towards Earth. A. B, restarting the sun with a nuclear warhead. B. Or C, a group of soldiers who go to find a brother of a paratrooper behind enemy lines.
I'm also feeling A or B. I'm not feeling C, really. To be different, I'm going to go with option A.
Option A. So you both have different options, meaning that C was not picked, and that is because it was 1998's film Saving Private Ryan, for those
I thought so.
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes. It was hard to find something, but I thought Deep Impact, maybe it's a powerful Deep Impact psychologically. Who knew? So we are in a sci-fi genre. However, Gary, that means that you do get a point, and that's a point scored from David Hoffman. He should have gone with A, which means that Jenny now has 2 points. David
on the board.
Has a point, and Gary leads with 3 points.
Let me just say, David, you have seen that movie because it's a 2004 movie called Sunshine. and it's
Sunshine.
really good.
I don't think I have seen it, but I
Oh,
might
really?
have seen parts of it or something.
Yeah.
It bears striking similarities to The Core.
Yes, the
except
core.
it's the
Earth's
Earth and
core,
not the sun, or the
yeah.
sun and not the Earth, and whatever. Yeah.
Let's move along to 1992's blockbuster film, The Cutting Edge, a movie I have not seen. I haven't seen Deep Impact either, so I guess it doesn't make it all that special either. Jenny, you will be creating the 3-sentence synopsis for this, so send that to me whenever you can.
Okay.
All right, we have them all. Here we go. Let's get back into it. So here we are, 1992's The Cutting Edge. Here are the 3 options, A, B, and C. A former Secret Service agent who becomes a bodyguard for a famous singer. He must protect her from a stalker while dealing with their complicated relationship. It's a romantic thriller with suspenseful moments and iconic music. Option B. After the death of her father, the heiress of a multi-million-dollar corporation is threatened when the Xing Group, a terrorist group from China, seizes hold of the company's main headquarters and aims to claim their fortune. With only the help of her father's prized katana, she calls upon her legacy to cut out her competition and take back what's hers.
Yo, that's sick. I don't know if that's real, but
Or
I would
C.
watch the hell out of that.
Or C.
It sounds pretty good, yeah.
A figure skater who teams up with a hockey player to compete in pairs skating. They have very different styles and personalities, but they learn to work together and fall in love along the way. It's a romantic comedy about love, determination, and the pursuit of dreams.
What's the title of the movie again?
The title is 1992's The Cutting Edge. The Cutting Edge. So let's go to you first, Gary. Which one
Give
do
me
you
B.
think?
Well, hold
Give me
on.
B.
Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. Katana Woman could be Kill Bill. Just give me a quick thing of the first one again.
Former Secret Service agent who becomes a bodyguard
for a musician.
Yeah, and they have
You know what? The cutting edge, the katana, it's a little on the nose, but I'm gonna go with it because I really hope that movie exists because I'm watching it once we log off. So give me Katana Woman.
That's too good. Let's go to
I'm
you.
gonna go. C was ice skating. I'm gonna go with ice skating.
Ice skating. There's positives and negatives for you here, Gary. The negative is that you guessed incorrect and the movie does not exist. The positive is that Jenny came up with that, meaning that she has a point. And David, you guessed correctly on the film The Cutting Edge, meaning that we have a 3-way tie for 3 points apiece. Of course, a former Secret Service agent is the synopsis for
That's just the bodyguard.
The bodyguard. Yes, that's just the bodyguard. Also came out in 1992.
There's a whole musical about
So you're
that
telling
one.
me that the Shin Corporation isn't real?
The
No.
Shin
Well,
Corporation.
actually, that the Xing group does exist. I googled Chinese triad names to throw you off, and it worked.
Who's gonna stop Shin?
Who's gonna stop Shin? Shin happened.
Mr. Shin and his Shin group.
Yes, cover your shins. 1986's The Money Pit is the next blockbuster on the list, and we'll get right into it. Option A. When down on his luck, Parker Harris meets hotshot Vince McElroy. Parker gets sucked into the world of the underground fight scene. Triumph is addictive. Parker finds himself sucked deeper and deeper into the world of fighting, gambling, and drugs until eventually something has to give. Option B. A group of friends who go on a journey to find the body of a missing boy. Along the way, they confront their fears and learn important lessons about friendship and growing up. It's a coming-of-age drama with heartfelt moments and memorable characters. Or option C. A couple who buy a big old house that needs a lot of repairs. They think it will be easy, but everything goes wrong and the house falls apart. It's a comedy about the challenges of home ownership. So let's go to you first, Jenny. Which one is the correct synopsis for 1986's The Money Pit?
Can you repeat option C one more time?
Yes, let's go through them one more time. Parker Harris gets sucked into the world of pit fighting. Option B, we find a group of friends who find a body in a water pit. And then option C, a couple buys a big old house and everything falls apart.
I'm going to go with option A. Option B is definitely a movie. I'm blanking on the name of it, but that exists, and that's not Money Pit. I'm not sure about option C. Seems a little suspicious. So option A, please.
Option A, Gary.
Option B is Stand By Me. So
There it is. That's the title.
I'm kind of just like want to zag from Jennie just, to maybe get points, but honestly, I think it's A as well. So I'm going to lock in A.
So you both have the same choice, which means you both will be giving the same result. And you were both correct in guessing out that Stand By Me is indeed option B, the only one that had a shot of having a hit of some sort in 1986's illustrious blockbuster career. However, David Hoffman pulls ahead with 2 points as you both guessed his synopsis of The Money Pit. The correct one, of course, being Tom Hanks's immortal flop of a couple who buys a big old house that needs repairs. Tom Hanks's, I believe, amongst his first starring roles, if not his first.
That's so funny.
Here we go. The train rolls on into 1984's The Killing Fields. The first option. When a poor young Latino man, Ricardo, and I should announce it, Ricardo, joins one of the world's most notorious gangs, the Latin Kings, he is given the task of proving himself by killing 10 rival gang members around Los Angeles. Ricardo befriends a social worker and lives 2 secret lives, one as a promising high schooler and one as a ruthless gang member. Ricardo starts to lose himself throughout the story, with the social worker Rebecca being the single thread keeping his humanity intact. Option B, a reporter who goes to Cambodia during a war. He becomes friends with a local man and tries to help him escape danger. It's a true story about bravery and friendship during difficult times. And option C, a group of teenagers who are haunted by a killer in their dreams. They have to find a way to stop him before he kills them all. It's a scary movie with lots of suspense and surprises. Let's start out with you first, David, the person who has accrued 2 extra points just from last round alone, from being so good at this synopsis game. Where would you like to go and state your claim?
Give me, what was the name of the film again?
The name of the film is 1984's The Killing Fields.
Oh, yeah, okay. And a quick rundown.
Yes, Ricardo lives 2 lives as a high schooler and a gang member. Option B is a reporter goes to Cambodia and befriends a local man. Option C, a group of teenagers are haunted by a killer in their dream.
It's option B.
It is option B, says David. And Gary, you offered a synopsis. Jennie, you are next to guess.
I will also say option B. Option C is Nightmare on Elm Street, so it's definitely not that one.
So you're saying option C is your selection.
It is not my selection. That is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Or sorry, yes, it is not your selection. Option B is your selection.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Gary, you have no points, as neither of them picked you. A Nightmare on Elm Street was indeed C, which means that both David and Jennie have come up with a weird place where they can tie here, meaning that David has 7 points, Jennie has 5, Gary has 3. So since, David, you are eliminated, I will ask you a favor to pull triple duty.
Eliminated.
I'm eliminated.
Gary's eliminated.
Yeah,
If you want to put me back in, Coach, just give me an extra 4 points. I'm down.
That's fine. No, Gary, let's ask you a favor and have you write a synopsis for 1980's The Coal Miner's Daughter.
You want me to write a synopsis?
I want you to write this. I know that it's unfair to have you do 3, but just in the interest of keeping the game alive, let's have you do this. The Coal Miner's Daughter, 1980's The Coal Miner's Daughter. As this was Jennie's original prompt, I think it's only right that we read her movie prompt for 1980's The Coal Miner's Daughter, knowing that this is not it. This is not it, but let's see if maybe Gary and David would have been fooled. The life of 11-year-old Patty Freeman, a coal miner's daughter in northern England, is forever changed one day when she stumbles upon a ballet class during her weekly boxing lesson. Before long, she finds herself in dance, demonstrating the kind of raw talent seldom seen by the class's exacting instructor, Mrs. Wilkinson. With a tart tongue and a never-ending stream of cigarettes in her hand, Mrs. Wilkinson's zest for teaching is revived when she sees Patty's potential. Would that have fooled you, David or Gary?
I have to compare it to the others.
Yeah, you'd
I'd
have
to compare it to the others. So I don't.
I mean, a ballerina, boxer, coal miner. That's a sick character.
That is a sick character, and way to
make that
go,
movie.
Jenny, with the use of a tart tongue. Very, very English of you.
The never-ending stream of cigarettes.
David, you'll be first to guess on this official ballot here of synopses for the 1980s coal miner's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. No pressure. No pressure. Just don't fumble the bag. A girl from a small town who becomes a famous singer. She sings songs about her life growing up in the mountains. It's a true story about a lady named Loretta Lynn. Option B. It's about a family dealing with a tragedy. They try to understand each other better and heal their wounds. It shows how even ordinary families can face big challenges. Or option C. When 13-year-old Fiona's father is killed in a mining accident underground, she starts to suspect that a rival coal company was behind it and that her father was murdered. Fiona's alcoholic mother is no help. The rival coal company essentially runs their West Virginia town, and as Fiona digs deeper into the mystery, danger starts to close in as she gets close to the truth. So, David, which one is the correct synopsis?
I don't know. These are all
viable. Which means, and a credit to you there, Gary Boucher, and to me as well for finding the right blockbuster as well. But applause to both of us.
So the first one
is a girl from a small town becomes a famous singer.
Right.
Second one is about a family dealing with a tragedy and coming together. And last one is 13-year-old Fiona's father is killed in a mining accident.
I'm going to go with the third one. Option C, not because I think it's necessarily the one. I think it sounds the most like I'd want to watch it. So I'll go with that one.
Sounds good. Jenny, in order to tie, you got to choose something different. But if you think it's the right one, you can choose that one as well. Option A, B, or David's choice, C.
There's something about listening to all of them. I always try to look for details. And it makes sense to me that Loretta Lynn would have... I've never heard of this movie. But I feel like Loretta Lynn is a big enough name that I feel like she would have made a movie at some point about her. So my gut is telling me option A.
Option A. Well, you were both avoiding option B, about a family dealing with a tragedy, and you would be correct in having done so. That is 1980's fellow blockbuster, Ordinary People.
Oh.
Of course, Oscar nominated. Never seen it myself, but have heard about it. Option C, which David chose, actually gives a point to Gary, as Gary has put forth a synopsis that fooled David.
I'm glad that you would watch that movie, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Meaning that Jenny and David are tied at 7 apiece, which means that we go to the tiebreaker.
I'd like to mention that the one that I contributed is actually, I changed a few things around, but that's actually the plot for the movie Billy Elliot.
I thought it sounded similar, a little bit similar. Okay. Mm-hmm. This tiebreaker is fairly simple. We've done 5 films, and knockout style, we're going to go and get ready. This is both David and Jenny. We'll start out with Jenny we'll start out with David, since he was the one who had the tiebreaker forced upon him, and I think position 1's easier. Knockout style, you'll get 3 seconds, and once the other person does it, which one of you can give me more years that the blockbusters in this game were selected from? So I've given you each movie, and I've given you a date associated with each of them. I need the years that they came out. David, you're first to go.
All of them?
Not all of them. I just need one until one of you gets eliminated. So David, you start us out whenever you're ready.
Okay. In order?
No. Any date, any year.
Okay. There was a 2003.
There was a 2003. Jenny, you're next. What was another year? 3.
You said, I think Coal Miner's Daughter was 1980?
1. That is a year. David, we're back to you.
1998.
1988
I
is...
said 1998.
Oh, 98. Oh, very close. Yes, that is Deep Impact. Very good. We're back to you, Jenny. 3.
Oh my gosh.
2.
1992. I don't know. I give up. You win, David.
Wow. 1992's The Cutting Edge is real.
Oh,
Wow.
keep on going then.
David, you have 2 more options. 3.
I'm pretty sure I remember
2.
1986.
1986 is real, Jenny. There's only 1 more available.
I don't know. I'm
3,
stumped.
2,
I don't know.
1.
I don't know.
She gives up.
Wait. The 1984?
It was 1984, The Killing Fields.
David takes
Indeed.
it.
David takes it, and I did not want him to. Gosh darn it. But needless to say, David takes the W. Congratulations, sir, on one of our longer games. But that being
Yes.
said,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
yes, congratulations to Jenny and Gary. You guys fought a valiant battle. Gary,
Thank you, sir.
well done getting a fake synopsis point at the end there for respectability. And thank you for joining us, Gary. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us these
thank you
past
for
2 weeks.
having me.
Yes,
We'll
thanks,
see
Gary.
in association with our blockbuster episode that we recorded last week, how we're all doing, even as of this week. There have been some results that we'll probably be posting to our social media. So make sure to go follow us on @RoastandToastPod. Gary, I know that we'll have you a part of that as well. Everybody, here we go. It's the big summer blockbuster. Woo, 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 woo.
Ow, that slaps. Each week we bring something special. Every time we do this segment, we bring a piece of media or a song that tickles our fancy that we want to share and encourage everyone to go check out. Mine this week is a film. I recently saw the David Dastmalchian starring movie Late Night with the Devil in theaters, and I thought it was very worth everyone's time. That movie is, we don't cover a lot of 70s horror, at least from that era, and I think, well, there were some things that I would have tweaked styling wise. I think it was done very well with the budget that they were given, and I think all the performances, especially David Dastmalchian's as the lead, was sublime. So I highly encourage everyone to go see that one in theaters while you still can. I don't think it's in theaters for that much longer, but you know what? It's okay, because this film is meant to be seen on television screens anyway. Go see Late Night with the Devil. That slaps.
My That Slaps is an artist's second entry onto the catalog. Little Dicky makes a second appearance with...
Oh, yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
God, that is so not who I thought you were going to say.
That's so funny. No, Sam Smith's, it would have been their 9th addition to the thing. But anyways, Little Dicky came out with an entire album called Penis,
Yes, he did.
which closely correlates to Dave, the show that is on Hulu here in the States. It's a great show. An Ally song with the context of the show is just a beautiful, beautiful song. And especially to come from a place of rapping, it's touching, it's poignant, and it's somber. I love it. Go check it out. If you've seen the show, especially, I don't even need to really show you. You've heard it, and it's beautiful. Ally's song, excuse me, by Lil Dicky. Slap that Little Dicky.
I will not.
All right, my That Slaps is a song. Jenny, I recently found out that you enjoy some Bad Sons.
I do. I love Bad
Sons.
Sons.
Is featured a few times on That Slaps, and one more time today. The song I just
Yay!
discovered, it's one of the more recent song releases of theirs. It's called Astral Plans, and it slaps. Go check it out. It'll be on the playlist.
Well, that is the end of the show as we have recorded. So thank you so much for listening. But before we close down the campsite, we do have a few last notes and thank yous to get to.
Yeah, thank you to Cass and Crossland and Jake Corlang for the music you hear on the show.
Thank you to Ryan Ardell and Josh Hans for a lot of the audio bits you hear throughout the show.
Thank you to Rudy Chalk for all of your wonderful graphic work that you see in all of our social media.
And thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in. Yes, you listening right now, as well as Gary Boucher. I should not neglect him in his writing prowess nor his blockbuster knowledge. Thank you very much, Gary, for joining us. But you listening in right now, thank you so much for listening. If you are so inclined, please follow us on all of our social medias at Roast and Toast Pod, or of course on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're pretty much everywhere, including YouTube. That's a fun little component, especially with David putting forth our video of all of us together. That is fun to watch, and we've got a whole bunch there. You can find any and all of our stuff on our social medias. Pretty much anywhere you listen to all of your favorite podcasts, whether that be Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much everywhere except for Pandora. You know why? Screw you, Pandora.
Oh my god, even with Godzilla and King Kong teaming up, I don't know how they're gonna win this fight. We're doomed! Hold on a second. Release the bear.